Look.
Oh.
There's a woman standing behind all of you, and she has a shotgun trained on all of you. And she says, all right, time for you to finish your job here. And you recognize her immediately. It's the lawyer, Valerie Irving. It's like, go ahead. Somebody needs to take that and fuck off with it. Get it out of my house.
Sorry?
You heard me. Somebody just walk right up to that thing, take it, get it the fuck out of my house.
We will, in fact, need you to sacrifice yourself then.
Nope. Not part of the deal.
But this wasn't either, actually.
It's part of my deal. She's just kind of like, cocks the shotgun again.
I swear to God, these modern people are bullshit. Okay.
How far away is she from me?
She's a decent distance away that she would definitely get a shot off on you before you were able to get close to her.
But not if I whip a crowbar at her.
It's like, oh, I know, you're all shocked and confused. What the hell is the lawyer doing here, huh? I know, it's gotta be confusing, doesn't it? Well, let me tell you one thing. This house wasn't built to keep that thing in. It was built because we wanted its power.
Jesus Christ.
And that fucker, Patrick, decided he was just gonna make off with it all on his own. But I caught on. I remember. He thinks changing his name is so smart. That stupid son of a bitch, I'm onto him. But now this well's mine. It's all mine. And I get the power of the Outer Black all to myself. But all I need is for one of you to just take that thing, get it the fuck away from my well. And if you don't, I'll shoot you all, and then I'll just leave the house until it decides it's ready to go.
So, that thing is...
It's the living darkness. You know,
Oh.
guards the well to the Outer Black.
Are there keeper rocks or anything on the ground? Am I close to one of these? Okay, I would take a rock before I touch a skull. I would like to try to do so while like conversation is happening with the lawyer and others, to try to just grab a rock surreptitiously.
I will let you get away with it. However, you probably want somebody to distract her while you're doing it. So, if you can communicate with just your eyes to any of the other teammates to kind of convey a plan, I'll let you get away with it. Because she's busy vaguely... She's not actually monologuing, she like had her tiny moment, but really she is honestly just waiting for one of you to reach out to this thing and take it. She's not that kind of villain. She's just waiting for you to do the thing that she needs you to do.
Wasn't she closer to me?
Yeah, technically, because you were the last one in. Oh, no, because you all kind of went over the well. So I want to say you're all pretty close to the well, if you look at the map. She's where the shaft to the inner chamber is, and you're all pretty close to the open well.
Oh, damn.
There's an altar between you.
Okay. Everett is gonna try to lock eyes with Piers.
Oh god, why'd you pick Piers?
Because
redemption moment.
No, because Piers is the one I have confidence in few things, and this is one thing I think Piers can do. Everett's gonna try to catch Piers's eye, and like his arms are down by his sides because he's trying to like keep his balance and not just yarf all over this place. He's gonna try to like point to one of the stones down on the ground and like point, and then like kind of like flick their finger like up towards that general direction, trying to convey break whatever light is over by her to make it darker. That's what I'm trying to convey. That's a lot of things to try to convey, but that's what Everett's trying to do. Or, if Piers interprets it as, throw the rock at her, that's fine too.
But yeah, okay, so let's say, let's see how well you conveyed that. Because, let's say, it should be... Sense trouble is pretty good, I want to say. How about give me this is a very tense situation. You are trying to convey something very archaic using only your eyes and maybe slight finger adjustments. I want to say it is a 7-point sense trouble test.
Yikes. Well, I'm going to spend 5.
There it is.
And have to roll...
And not roll a 1.
And not roll a 1. That's fine. Rolled a 6.
Jesus. So you managed to convey all that to Piers. Piers does understand what you're trying to say.
Excellent. Whatever you do with it is up to you.
So you're telling Piers to throw a rock at the closest light to Valerie Urban.
Yeah.
Is the idea. So if you want to tell him to do that, are you going to be the distraction then?
Yes.
What you gonna do?
He'll like hold his hands up. And say, you mentioned that this was someplace that obviously gives people a lot of power. But what specifically is your connection to this place? Are you related to, and I'll point to the body of like the pile of 6 bodies. Anyone here? Were you...
Oh,
Did you help build this house?
No, I didn't help build this house. You know why? Because the person who built this house is a fucking traitor. she just kind of like holds the gun. She's pointing it at you now because she's definitely trained on you. Patrick, the asshole who built this house, went on a world journey to see if he could find one of these power wells, and he found it here, and he thought he was my partner in law. Like it was Irving and Riley associates. Like we were business partners and everything. And this fucker decided that he was just gonna take the well and keep all that power to himself, and he had his little group of friends that wanted to all have that power together, so look at how well it worked for them, because those idiots didn't know about the guard dog that comes out of the goddamn wells. So those guys on the floor over there, yeah, they used to be my friends. But they made a fatal mistake, and that is they didn't have guinea pigs to take the thing away from it.
And then I'm gonna throw the rock.
Good. So give me a shooting test. It is a very hard shooting test because everything you're trying to do is kind of quick, and it has to be done on the fly. You don't really have time to aim and make it perfect or anything like that. I'm gonna say it's an 8-point shooting test.
Then I'm sinking all 5 of my shooting points into it.
Ooh.
Yes.
And got a 6.
So you immediately just like really quick. It kind of blurts out the light. Unintended thing. That light is chained to that light. Is chained to that light. Is chained to that light. The entire side of the chamber completely goes black. And she goes, "What the fuck?" And she turns her gun and is about to shoot. But I'll give everybody a fleeing test of, let's say, 8. 8-point fleeing test to see if you can get over to the light side of the room before Valerie realizes she's fucked.
Well, I haven't used any points in fleeing, so I'm gonna use 7.
Have I used any? No, I haven't used any. You said it's 8-point fleeing?
8-point fleeing, because this is all happening very fast, and it was not planned that all the lights on that side of the room would go out.
And so we're fleeing to the other side of the room?
The other
You're
side where
fleeing to
there's
the
light.
light side of the room, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I burn all of my fleeing
Yeah.
and also roll, I don't know, extra to try and make sure that when we're all running and I'm running in front of Everett to make sure that they are
You can
not.
try.
They're
I
not
only
going to get
have-
shot. I'm trying to make
I
sure
only
that I'm
have 3
sweeping.
points of fleeing.
I'm trying to sweep.
Let's see how good you roll. So everybody, give me that roll, and we'll find out what goes on.
And I rolled a 5. I don't know if that gives me any.
You're good. You overdid it, but yeah, you're good. And then Penelope and Everett. I want to say because you did it so good, it lowers the test for Penelope and Everett.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I was like,
Let's see. It was an 8 point. I'm gonna make it a 5 point for you two.
Okay. Well, I spent 3 points and then rolled a 5.
No.
So I got 8.
And then.
But
Penelope.
I don't have any more fleeing points, friends. Just letting you know.
I'm gonna spend, what is it now, 5?
It's now 5 for you because Joe is kind of helping by like essentially grabbing both of you and just diving to the other side of the room. But there's
Yeah,
a chance that, she misses or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna spend 2 points. I rolled a 3.
Whoop!
Oh Jesus!
Very good.
So you all kind of like it all happened so fast. Piers like and like it throws. He's kind of used to distracting predators in his line of work. I don't know. You can figure out what that means later if you want to ask him about it. But like,
This is so interesting.
He gets down. He throws a rock really quickly. It blasts all the lights out, and everyone's just like shit. And then Joe grabs both of you, dives, and Piers kind of just like ducks and rolls out of the way. Valerie Irving shoots. So there's like a big blast of light. As everybody's ears kind of go, numb for a second. The monster in the back freaks out about the light that just lit up the room for a second. You can see like parts of it kind of sizzled slightly, and it sees an avenue, and Valerie just goes, "Fuck!" And then as this thing like too fast, immediately just kind of like grabs her and absorbs her, and you see her get kind of like just swallowed by this like weird blob of hands that just kind of like grab her and everything like that. You aren't entirely too sure what happens to her for a second, but then after a moment you just see like this kind of like mummified corpse kind of fall out of this thing, and then like as it hits the ground turns into a bunch of dust. And her shotgun just like lands across the room. But now the what is nice is the living darkness is on the right side of the room. However, you do have a clear shot to be able to get to the what's it called?
Well,
out of the thing. However, the second, from what you're gathering, sure, morning might be coming in a few hours or so, but the second it turns dark again, this thing could walk out of here, and you don't know what kind of havoc it's going to cause. So there's got to be a way to stop this thing. Or not. I don't know. It's up to you guys. You can just say fucking run if you want.
no, we got to get that thing in the well, and we got to put the lid on that. We got to cap it.
We know there's spare bulbs and lights in the workshop. So
yeah,
we should
if anybody
start...
wants to spend skills for ideas, you can do that. But if
So
you
these
got
are
ideas,
these
go
are the
for it.
lamps here halogen lamps?
If you're talking about are they now, like, can you replace the bulbs in them?
Yeah.
The catch-22 with that is that when the what's it called? The power generator goes out, somebody needs to constantly come back and refill it, right?
Yeah.
So it's not a permanent solution. It is a good solution for now.
No. So we broke lights. Half the lights here popped. My thinking, and Everett will explain this also in character, but I don't want to. Is that we just need to light it up down here enough that it scurries back into its hole, and we put the cap that's on the ground, cover it up, put it in there, and then we can work on leveling this entire building if we want to.
That is a solution.
Is it?
Right, that's what I meant by the spare lights that we saw in the workshop.
I was on the same page with you.
Yeah, those lights are for these lights.
How much time do you think we have left on the generator?
I want to say you got like maybe an hour,
Okay.
as long as nothing happens to it.
Yeah. Sure.
Bum, bum, bum.
I don't know what would happen. I just wanted to freak you out.
How many flashlights do we have?
You have, I want to say you have a couple, but they aren't like as a quick test, you shine it at it. It hates it, but it doesn't recoil from it.
Yes.
I would like to conduct a brief experiment. Do I, first of all, after seeing this, do I have any idea what kind of entity this is?
I mean, she told you it's living darkness. Duh. You have no idea.
Sure.
You've never
Okay.
seen. She's mentioned the outer black and the living darkness. Oh yeah, actually, that does kind of ring a bell, don't it, Penelope? You know what the outer black is.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you do.
No. I have to go. I'm very busy. I can't be here anymore. I have to leave. I just realized I have an appointment for the remainder of my life.
What?
Is that your friend?
I don't have friends.
Is it your roommates?
Is that your pen pal?
Is
And
that
they
your
were
roommate?
roommates. Okay, all right, okay. Well, ignore me for a minute while I start putting things together in my brain pocket.
So, all right. So I had also Everett had a moment in the lighthouse where they were standing in just a void of darkness, and it was staring back. Would it possibly have been this? Not this. Crawly, creepy. The bad dark of infinite darkness. Neat.
You solved the mystery of Eilean Moore. Darkness ate him. Sometimes it's as simple as that.
Sometimes it's just really dark.
You
I thought it
mentioned
was
something a second ago that might be a good lead.
Well, my other thought too is
You,
The lighthouse? The lighthouse!
Turn
There's
the
a reason
lighthouse
it's
on!
Y'all
remember,
remember the lighthouse?
I do remember I spent some points on fixing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
going to remind you of that if you spent points, but you all got there.
Y'all, we
Yeah.
gotta fucking fix that lighthouse!
Shit.
Yes, ma'am?
Yeah.
Wait, so now that I have an understanding of this, I'm a researcher. So I'm wondering, Dave,
Dave?
I'm wondering, is there any way for me to manipulate my gift at all?
If you're trying to, you can reach out to the living darkness if you'd like, but I'm not going to guarantee it's going to be a good thing to do.
No, I'm not. What I'm actually trying to do. I'm actually wondering about trying to reach into it to see if Melanie or what's her name have been absorbed or consumed.
Ooh, you do not sense them in there. You actually don't sense them at all in the house anymore. So that's good. Or bad, depending.
That's a thing of note. They're just
That's something to note.
I want to say, in doing that, you've slipped accidentally too far. And you've accidentally reached into the living darkness. Everybody take off your headphones.
No! Don't leave
buddy.
Let's see.
I don't want this. This is exactly what I didn't want.
Okay, so what you see is, what's it called? You see a group of these two men. One of them looks familiar. It looks like the body that was buried in the wall. And the other is a young man. You saw him in a photograph a long time ago. It's Patrick Riley. They discover this well, and then you see them making negotiations to build this house around it, and everything like that. You see 7 people moving these kind of ancient bodies away from this well. They're wearing robes that you're familiar with because they're the robes of the Seventh Circle, the Hermetic Order of the Seventh Circle.
Okay.
You see them not care at all about these bodies. One of them is like literally on top of the well. It's like a dead, mummified body on top of the well, and these guys just push the well aside. They then get attacked by the living darkness, and most of them get basically devoured almost immediately. And then you see two of them run away. One of them, Patrick, gets grabbed by the ankle on his way out. And you see the life kind of get sucked from him. He goes from looking like he's 35 to looking like he's 80. Guy gets but he manages to escape before it kills him. They get all the way upstairs. They turn on the lights with the power generator, which keeps the living darkness in the basement. You see them go upstairs. They talk about rituals and the only way to keep it in there. They make a rash decision. Nathan sacrifices himself. Patrick carves the flower of life into his body, cements him into the wall, and cements all the doors, tries to keep the place secured forever. That said, the living darkness has been living down here secured for a long time. And it talks to you. And it says, "Who are you?" And you just see occasional glimpses of the outer black. You're probably the only one who could have lived this long. To be able to pull this off, but you see horrifying things. You see a man with a bird face doing horrible operations. You see this weird, just horrible abominations that you can't even describe or begin to explain. You have, if you want, you can spend any number of points in psychic to ask questions to the living darkness about its motives or weaknesses or its nature. Depending on
anything there.
You have nothing in psychic.
No.
Oh no. Well,
which doesn't make sense, but
where is
I
psychic?
get it. It's under it says psychic powers, and then
Okay, I'm gonna.
messenger.
They mean any ability in there. So if
I
you
don't
have
have-
medium or messenger
I
or
got
premonition.
literally nothing in there, which I don't understand,
What?
but I don't
How?
have anything in there.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 3 questions. If you ask 3 questions, it starts to get hairy to stay in there. So feel free to duck out of this whenever you want. But go ahead and ask at least 2 questions. If you start to ask a third, it starts to get iffy. And then you can ask a 4th, but it might not end well.
Okay. All right, no pressure. That's fine. I think the first question will be, what are your goals?
Darkness! Darkness everywhere! Open the outer black! Take this world!
Cool. This next question is going to be tricky, and they might get mad, but she's gonna do it anyway. Wait, no, she's not. She's going to try to picture Melanie and what is her name? Victoria? Veronica? Victoria.
Because Valerie is the dead lawyer.
Right. She's gonna try to picture both of them in her head and say, where are they? How am I feeling?
You're starting to feel a little sick.
Fuck, I want them back. For you, so I have been here before, right?
The Outer Black? You just know a lot about the Outer Black, and your power actually taps into it.
Okay.
It's what you didn't like about the Seventh Circle. Once you figured out that it wasn't just using powers to kind of learn more about the occult, and you learned that they were actually trying to awaken the Outer Black and use its power for their own gains, that's when you kind of ducked out of the cult.
Okay. All right. She is going to do her best to try to see if she can I can't feel them here either, can I?
What, Melanie and
Yeah.
no, they're gone.
They're gone. All right. I'll let myself slip back into the normal world then.
It's like you can, as you're trying to like fade out, you almost see hands trying to get you back, and they're like, as you pull back. So, what we come back to is Penelope. Like Penelope just kind of like reaches out, trying to see something, and then she just goes, and like her eyes just turn completely black for a moment, and like you can see like all the hands that were kind of chaotically moving around in the living darkness kind of start to, in like they're kind of like trying to reach specifically Penelope. Like the light is keeping them away, but like all the hands just kind of like converge at this one point where they keep trying to like come around each other and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, after what seems like I want to say maybe 10 seconds, Penelope just goes, and then like you see the hands just go, and then like the thing just kind of like crawls along the walls really angrily, as if it like was trying to do something and failed at it.
Did
Maybe
you two
trying to
become
enter
friends?
somebody.
Penelope, are you alright?
How do I feel?
You feel very sick.
So Penelope's probably gonna like collapse onto the floor. And she's like completely unable to communicate.
I will do the same thing for Penelope that she did for me earlier in the kitchen. I will kneel
It comes
down.
off a little different considering how crazy you are.
Yeah. I'm like,
What?
It's totally fine. It's totally fine.
It's gonna be fine. It doesn't look fine. In the view behind you is this horrifying.
While that's happening, I'm going to start making my way to the lighthouse.
Okay, so you start to climb up the thing.
Yeah.
As the action music kind of slowly starts to kick up. What does everybody else do?
I think Everett's just gonna, like, realizing that there is a situation here, but knowing that there will be more of a situation if they stay here. I think Everett's gonna come over to, like, where Joe and Penelope are and, like, say, something has happened. I realize this, but we need to leave. And Everett's gonna like try to like scoop like one arm under each one of you. So like hook one arm, hook the other arm, and kind of like lift you both up, and try to like move you towards the the up.
As you pick
To
them
go.
up, you start to hobble towards the exit when all of a sudden you hear a and like one of the lights at the far end of the room goes out, and that's when you realize that the living darkness has figured out tools, because you see it pick up a rock and throw it at one of the lights. And then it gets really excited about that when the light goes out, and it like runs around the entire room. And then you see it like 7 hands kind of like trying to go over each other, like concentrate on a rock, pick it up, and then another light behind you goes out.